All right, good afternoon. It's the only way you're supposed to do is see, right? So welcome to Coaching in Disguise. Again, the link is up on the screen. We'll have it up again at the end of the presentation. So if you didn't grab that Google form and fill it out, we will have it again. And we'll send all of those resources on Thursday. Very familiar with the QR code, which you can fill one out. So our agenda, we're going to be talking about goal setting. And I don't know about you guys, but so hard to they just don't want to be coached. And so with that, we're going to talk about some just strategies that can help you with coaching that will get your teachers excited, that will get them into coaching cycles without even knowing about it, right? So my name is Stephanie, and I am a community coach. If you need anything, I have my email up there on the slide, but feel free to reach out with me to for any questions that you might have. And I'm joined today with my good friend, and I'll let her introduce herself as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Carmody. I am so sad that I am not with you guys in person today, but I am an instructional coach at Mooresville High School in Mooresville, North Carolina. So I'm excited to be presenting all these amazing coaching strategies with you guys today alongside Stephanie.
So the first thing is goal setting. Goal setting is really important as a coach because if we don't set the right goals, our teachers don't have purpose for them, right? They don't have why and so goals are really, really important. So the one thing is where we're able to support teachers. And with this activity, I'm able to come in to this PLC, and I'm able to have a conversation. All right, what's one way? What is one want that you have for this second half of this? So, paper version of this, and you can also set up a space in School AI and have your teachers kind of go through the space, and it will do scaffolding to think about this question as well. So there's multiple different ways that you're able to ask these 3 questions, or you can just have a conversation with the teacher and then take notes. The next idea is what's on your plate.
So for what's on your plate, it's just a way to help teachers understand and start to prioritize what are all of the things that are on their plate and how can they really try new things, trying to balance all of these things that they have on their plate. So if you view this template, it should go ahead and let you make a copy of the template. You're going to start by having your teachers just list everything that's on their plate. Lesson planning, attending professional development, attending staff meetings, everything that is on their plate professionally, you're going to start by having them dump that on their plate. This can be done on paper, or you could probably even make a School AI space for this as well. But I have a Canva template for you if you decide to do it digitally. So you would start by having the teachers just add text all over this plate about the things that are on their plate. And then step 2 is to prioritize what's on their plate. So you're going to use the check mark emoji for anything that energizes them. It's important that we have things on our plate that energize us and that we enjoy so that we can keep going in our professional learning. So check mark the things that energize them. They're going to put a smiley emoji next to the things that they enjoy the most. And then we're going to use the timer for the things that take up the most time. So this is going to really help them understand what are the things that are filling up my plate, and is there room for any of those to kind of move, shift, adjust, go away as I'm trying to figure out what my goals are as a teacher. The star is for the things that they wish they had more time for, and the X is for things that they feel like they could do without. And especially if there are things that they could feel like they could do without on their plate, then those are the things we're going to try to get rid of. And we're going to try to move more of our stars, the things that energize us, the things that we enjoy the most as they relate to our goals, more to the forefront of what we're trying to do as we goal set. So there's a Canva template there if you do want to use the Canva template.
Yeah, so again, you'll have all of those resources, and if you missed that bit, we'll put it up again, but all of these resources are in the resources. Also, so find the time, right? I know that I'm trying to plan, thinking of like, oh, you really need to know. It's just not so one thing that we can support is through micro PD. And one of my favorite activities is using 4 different types of coaching. And so when it comes to 4 types of coaching, we've got all different kinds of teachers. So if you're curious what kind of coach you are, there is a space for you where you can kind of take this personality test. Does anyone else want personality? Love personality test. And so this is just a great way that I'm able to kind of figure out what type of person am I working with. So we have 4 different types of coaches. We've got the coach like a champion. This person, we just want to suggest one strategy that's going to be effective for their students. If you suggest but this is my type of presentation. I'm like, this place is that teacher does not like that. When I was giving them all the language I wanted, he didn't want to be that part of the and so that's the coach like a champion. We also have a coach as a useful resource. This is where we're able to skip the theory, show me what works, right? I don't know what the best practices are. This is what right? And so with this person, they just want to make sure that you give them kind of a lesson and they're going to try it tomorrow. We've got the coach like an expert. Woo. This one. And so for this person, I have a pause. That makes it so high impact. Really well before they just gave it a go. We also have coach like a mentor. This person likes to brainstorm with you. They don't keep coming to class tonight because already. I'm talking about classroom management, not to say that students are. They have a conversation with water. So again, there's 4 different types of coaching, and what I'll do is I come in here. There's a space that you're able to use. It's a survey that you can use with your teachers. They come into School AI, and they're able to join that space, and if you want to take that space, you'll be able to. And they think about, okay, when I'm facing a new challenge, do I like to try one new strategy, or do I like options? I like options. I don't know about you guys. And then they're able to provide their answers, and you're able to gather this data that's coming in, by using a spreadsheet. So you'll have a CSV file, and then you can take it into AI and have it analyze. Teachers about this. How do I put this into my support all of the different activities that I really want to support when it comes to champions. So right here, you can see, okay, here's some key ideas. Here's the coaching types, right? Here's my groups of people that have been identified in those areas. Okay, make sure you celebrate the champions' wins. Why don't you start with the why? Create. So again, if I'm really struggling with a topic, develop information to each of these different types of people. And next up, we've got March Madness.
So another micro PD idea is just to try to gamify the learning for your teachers and really get them to try the new things that you're doing when you do professional development with them. So when you get access to this slideshow, you can click on the March Madness Challenge and it'll come up a slideshow of resources. You can just file, make a copy if this is something that you're interested and want to use with your teachers. On slide 2 is all of the strategies that I have done with my teachers in professional development. So I was using a March Madness challenge to try to get them to pick 4 to do throughout the month of March in their classroom. So they can pick any 4 out of all of the things that we learn throughout the school year. So on slide 3, I try to give them some essential questions of how this will benefit their instruction. Based on this choice board that I gave them for the March Madness Challenge, they're going to learn how to engage their students in the content. They're going to figure out how they can get their students collaborating, etc., etc. And then the other thing that I really point out to them is how this ties into their PDP goals or the goals that we've set for the school. By participating in a challenge like this, they're really making progress in goals that they either set for themselves or the goals that we have for the school. On slide 4, I kind of just have all of the strategies organized in a different way. When I did professional development with the teachers during this particular school year, we broke the strategies down into welcome and inclusion strategies, engagement strategies, and optimistic closure strategies. So the information is just broken down in a different way so they can figure out what 4 strategies they really want to try. So if they're trying to improve, say, the warm-ups that they do with students, then they may want to pick a lot that are from the welcome and inclusion strategies. And then the last thing that I have for them is a way to share out with each other. Once they pick 4 strategies to try in the March Madness Challenge, they're going to share out with every teacher in the school by posting their reflection of which 4 strategies they tried, what were their favorite strategies that they tried, and then there's a spot that they can book us as instructional coaches to really further their learning. So if there's a new instructional strategy or tech tool that they want to try, they can book us to come do a coaching cycle and co-teach in their classroom so that they can really implement some of these ideas with fidelity. So just a challenge like this is just a micro way to get some more professional development out there in a fun and engaging way.
Awesome. And so feedback. How many students have? They come to us with some feedback from their principal. I know when I was right? And you're like, well, how do I do this now, right? You're stuck in the middle. And so with this, I really like to use Jim Knight. His work, he has a coaching observation checklist. And so with his checklist, what I'm able to do is I'm able to come in here and I usually have like a Google slide where I can take notes. So it looks something like this. Where I can write how long they were on task. You can customize this to fit your instructional playbook needs. But some of the strategies that we're focused on is bringing beginning routines, stories, thinking prompts. Maybe we're focusing on not just opening questions, but having more open-ended type of questions. So with this coaching observation, I go into a classroom and I'll sit down and I'll kind of scope. As I'm doing my notes, I then usually will take all of this notes and I'll go into my School AI space and I will type my notes into this space. And I can have it kind of create a written summary. So that way I'm able to kind of see that. And it kind of is able to kind of say, okay, this is what I saw today. This is and I'm kind of exploring with this teacher. And after I use this observation, I'm then able to go in and I can create, using all of that information in the back end, my PD plan. So I'm able to go in and say, okay, I noticed that with this teacher, with this form, she's struggling with beginning routines. But then maybe I go to another teacher and that teacher is also struggling with those routines. So I'm able to come in here to my spaces, search for my space. Let's see here, I'm just gonna take this one that has some data. And then I can click on these three dots and I can download it as a CSV file. And the reason I like to do this is because then I'll go over to my assistants. I go into co-teacher, and this little pin right here that has the upload file, I can click on it and I can click on my device and upload that spreadsheet. So here's my 4 different types of coaching spreadsheet. I'm gonna hit upload and I can say, okay, based on this information, then I need to see where observation I'm doing with my teachers. Maybe I have an co-teacher and really work with this information to say like, okay, what next PD should I focus my coaching cycle on? What PD are so first we kind of say, okay, where are we at? All from kind of using this in my class, I can use a quickly jot down notes, come in and summarize it, and then I have a great note taking where I'm able to come in and look at it, but then I can also use all of that to see how is everybody doing. Okay, and then next up is feedback framework.
So I also have a feedback framework for you guys. This can be a very subtle way to strengthen the feedback that you are giving teachers. And I don't know about you guys, but I am a former math teacher. I coach all subject areas. So sometimes I'm less confident when I'm in a biology classroom or a CTE classroom. And so leveraging something like AI or even using a School AI space can really help strengthen the feedback that you're giving to teachers during a walkthrough. So this particular feedback framework highlights having a very brief narrative, giving very specific and evidence-based notes. So I saw, I noticed, or there were a number of students completing or doing this. It gives actionable suggestions, so giving a concrete suggestion of something to improve, tweak, or take the lesson to the next level. Affirming, complimenting, or praising one specific thing in the walkthrough that is going well. And this framework always promotes reflection, which is inviting a follow-up conversation or inquiry to really help keep this coaching conversation be a two-way conversation instead of just a walkthrough that's one and done and there's no conversation about it. So if you'd like to use a framework like this, the first thing that I always do is I copy and paste this framework into my favorite AI. So once again, this would be a very cool way to make a School AI space. You could copy and paste this framework and make your own School AI space. You could plug it into ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever your favorite AI tool is. And then as Stephanie mentioned, you're going to plug all of your observation notes in. And what AI will help you do is help you use this feedback framework to really provide feedback to teachers that's targeted, immediate, actionable, promotes reflection, and still has elements of that affirming tone in there. So when you get access to the slideshow, the AI prompt and being able to copy and paste this framework into your favorite AI will be available for you.
Awesome. And so after you kind of think about all of those things, we need to build a safe space, right? When we have and so when we're thinking about psychological safety, it can be sometimes difficult. How many of you have teachers that will sit in meetings and not speak up, right? They won't share. They're afraid of their opinions or they're afraid of failure. And so with this, we have different common assessments that we're able to focus in on as well. So when we think about our common assessments, typically it's when teachers are giving an assessment that has the same questions across all of the different spans. And so with this activity, you can have your teachers kind of think through the data. And how I like to do this is I use this kind of binder to kind of help the discussion. So right here is that data binder. And I have them kind of thinking about student one. So they're analyzing student one and how they did on this assessment. So first we have the objective. So we kind of think about 3 different work samples. We have school that might high quality, the student has content, the customer and so with those 3 things, they're able to have conversations. So we really look at that student that mastered that concept. And I have this little checklist down here. What are the strengths? What are the areas? What are the needs? What are maybe misconceptions? And they talk about those. We have a discussion and we kind of yes and mindset as we're kind of discussing. Right? So and I do this and we can have that conversation. There's a progressing one, the needs improvement, and then there's a lesson plan where they can now brainstorm together. What should we do for the student that's mastering? What should we do for the student that's progressing? What about the student that might improve, right? And so they can use kind of different ideas and then they can lesson plan together to support those different types of students. Now we have the Steal My Strategy. Oh, can you hear us?
Sorry, my mute was not working. Okay, so for the Steal My Strategy wall, this is a really simple and easy strategy that you can help really build that collaborative culture in your school. So the Steal My Strategy wall, I just have it in a space like Padlet. You could really post this in a digital space anywhere though, but the idea is that teachers are posting their favorite review strategies or instructional tech tools that they use to review information with students. So I love to use this at the end of the school year when teachers are super burnt out and they can't think of any more new or exciting ideas to review for the final exam with students. So you can see this pin post that I have really goes through the directions where they're just supposed to post the strategy name, how the strategy works, either a pro tip of how to make the strategy successful or a variation of the strategy, and then what grade level, subject, or review type this particular strategy is best for. And then you can see I posted myself a couple of model examples. And then the teachers just went to town sharing with each other what their favorite review strategies were at the end of the school year. I love having it in a digital collaborative space because your teachers don't need to go anywhere or be in a physical space with each other. They can just share best practices and ideas of their favorite strategies. to help collaborate and build that culture that, hey, we're here to share and collaborate with each other. So regardless of the digital space that you choose, it's just called Steal My Strategy Wall.
So I really like that strategy because, again, I think teachers should be showing up so well in their classroom and really thinking about that. So here are just two bonus resources that we have for you. So these are kind of other categories, and we've got Playground PD.
So Playground PD is just a great way. Think of it like an ISTE playground to showcase the digital tools that your district or school either supports or has purchased. So I love doing this at the beginning of the school year and really leveraging teacher leaders to be the teachers who are responsible for that particular tool, and teachers just come and go. So whether you have this playground in a digital space over something like Google Meet, or you have it in an in-person space like a media center or a professional development room, teachers can just come and go and learn from each other about tools that they can use in their classroom or instruction during the school year. So if I only want to learn about school AI and quizzes, I can just go to school AI and quizzes and leave. I just come and go as you see fit. So think of it kind of like an ISTE playground. And then the last bonus resource that we have on there is Teacher Appreciation Bingo. That one is just a really awesome way to build collaboration and once again encourage them to try new things. You can see if you click on that bingo board, there's fun things like leave a thank you note on a teacher's desk, or make sure you bring a coffee for a colleague, or doing something nice for each other to promote that collaboration and camaraderie between your staff. Or there's also things like, hey, co-plan a lesson with a teacher, or share your favorite tech tool with a teacher, or tell another teacher a success that you had this school year and why. So it's just a great way to continue to build that community.
Awesome. So again, these are a lot of different resources. You'll be able to click on the image once you get them to see them. Don't forget to complete the session evaluation. And then we'll pull up the Google form again. So there's the Google form if you need. If you really like the session, keep that. Okay, I unplugged you. Amazing. It worked out so well. I can't wait for you to see how huge this crowd is. It is huge. It's huge. And we're in like this hallway. It's huge.
That's so awesome. Yeah, send me the
Hear
picture.
you, but I think, oh, text me. Okay, bye. Bye. Yeah. Let me, I need to stop let me stop doing so. I've recorded it, so we have that.